The 71 of Vanessa McCreary getting ready to go green. 25-lap feature, DeVore and the Rooster. Bob Snyder Jr., Randy Gray, and the 75 of Bobby DeVore, the second, rounding out your starting lineup. Jerry DeVore will lead lap number 1. Brandon Bailey in second. Andrew Smart right there on the bottom in the third spot. Then the 02 of Rick Sibla, your front 4. Rooster going to get down in front of the youngster Andrew Smart in the third spot. Sibla on the outside in the 02 as he tries to get to the outside of Smart. Now they get stacked up behind Smart. Sibla and the 50 of Will Walker battle for 4th. Bobby DeVore, the second, pulls pit side as his brother Jerry DeVore leads in the number 4. 55 of Brandon Bailey in second. The youngster Andrew Smart running third. 4th, the 50 of Will Walker. The 09 of Philip Cox. And contact now between the 24 of Grubbs and the 02 of Sibla. That stacks up things up just a little bit. The 66 of McGrath to the inside of Grubbs. Caution on the front straightaway. The 71 of Vanessa McCreary spins. So Vanessa McCreary brings out the caution on lap number 6. 6 laps complete. Heat race winner Vanessa McCreary in the 71 will rejoin the field at the tail end. Jerry DeVore doing a nice job up front in the number 4. The 55 of Brandon Bailey runs in the second spot. Another good run right there in that third spot. The 17, the youngster Andrew Smart, the rookie. Will Walker in the number 50 will be running in the 4th position. He'll restart on the outside of Smart. Then the 09 of Cox, the 02 of Sibla. Your fastest qualifier Grubbs in the 24, the 66 of McGrath. Then the 49 of Page, the 38 of McClintock. Field will get the 1 to go signal this time around. Jerry DeVore and the Rooster. Six laps complete. 19 to go. Jerry DeVore and Brandon Bailey. Green flag in the air. So big stack up on the front straightaway as Jerry DeVore back out to the race lead. How about the youngster Andrew Smart up to the second spot? Philip Cox up to third. The Rooster Brandon Bailey dropping in an outside lane, and he's got a problem. Brandon Bailey going to pull pit side in the 55. Looks like a flat left rear tire. The 24 Nick Grubbs up to the 4th spot. The 50 of Will Walker in 5th, and the 02 of Sibla, the 49 of Page. Battle between Swaney and the 66 of McGrath for the 9th and 10th spots. Andrew Smart looked to the outside of the 4 of Jerry DeVore, thought better of it. Now he's going to settle back into that second spot. Smart again trying to look to that outside lane, trying the crossover. Jerry DeVore doing a nice job up front with the youngster Andrew Smart. Both of them looking for their first career feature wins. As Grubbs closing on the 09 of Philip Cox. Front 4, nose to tail, halfway home. 13 laps complete, 12 to go. Oh, Andrew Smart got a run, and he'll back out of it. Had a good run off of turn number 2. Nice decision by the youngster to back out of that one. Jerry DeVore holding a pretty wheel up front in that number 4. Philip Cox, Nick Grubbs battle for that third spot. And now Willie Walker and the 49 of Bob Page have joined the front. 6-car breakaway for the race lead. Andrew Smart looking for a way around Jerry DeVore. Philip Cox trying to hold off the 24 Nick Grubbs. And Will Walker trying to move in on the front 4. Can DeVore or Smart pick up their first career feature wins at Midvale Speedway? 6 laps to go. Smart's there. He'll back out once again. Andrew Smart again trying to get that run off of turn number 2. 4 laps to go. He gets a run on the front straightaway. Smart backs out of it again. He almost had the lane on Jerry DeVore. Into turn number 3. Almost to the door. Contact between the top 2 and they spin. So getting ready to go back to green. Jerry DeVore, Philip Cox. 21 complete. Green flag is in the air. So failed restart for the 4 of Jerry DeVore, the 09 of Philip Cox. We'll try it again. 4 laps remaining. 4 laps to go. Jerry DeVore, Philip Cox, your front 2 machines. Green flag back in the air, DeVore and Cox. Off turn number 2, Philip Cox around the outside will have the bottom. New race leader, Philip Cox. Jerry DeVore back to second. The 24, Nick Grubbs in third. Will Walker fourth. Philip Cox into turn number 3, looking for the white flag from chief starter Jonathan Smith. Jerry DeVore second, Nick Grubbs third, Bob Page fourth, and contact between McGrath and Will Walker off of turn number 2. Caution on the speedway for a huge stack up off of turn number 2 between Lewis McGrath and the Fox. Jerry DeVore on the front row, Nick Grubbs, Bob Page, Lewis McGrath, Kevin McClintock, Rick Sibla, Braden Swaney, Glenn Jewell. Full duty tonight, Lewis McGrath, the youngster in the 66. Kevin McClintock looking for 2 in a row. He's got to have some things happen in front of him. 1 lap shootout, getting ready to go green off of 4. Green flag in the air. Off turn number 4, your winner, Philip Cox. Nick Grubbs finishes second, Jerry DeVore third, Lewis McGrath in fourth. Good Van Meter Auto Repair modified feature. Jerry DeVore with a good third place run. Andrew Smart showing he's going to be somebody to be reckoned with throughout the next few years as Philip Cox wins. In the Snyder Home Improvement, Autophilia 4th, your pizza shop, K9 Fitness, sponsored 09. New Philly Barbell also on this 09 of Philip Cox. Members of Gillen Body Shop in Victory Lane, giving out the trophies. Getting the earpiece undone, getting ready to climb out, your Van Meter Auto Repair modified feature winner, Philip Cox. So getting ready to go green. 15 lap Canton Addiction Trophy stock feature is green. Jacob Keller with a good run on Tristan. He'll take the race lead. Evan Worrell going to go to the outside. Jacob Keller, Evan Worrell to the outside for the race lead. 2 laps complete. Jacob Keller, your leader. Three wide, back of the pack. Noah Kaufman going to get the bad end of that deal, as he's going to now be at the back of the pack, as Evan Worrell trying to get around Jacob Keller in the 37. Great battle up front. Jacob Keller and Evan Worrell continuing to battle for the race lead. Caden Scott, AJ Andrews, and Nolan Caldwell now on the scene. 5-car battle for the race lead. Jacob Keller trying to hang on as AJ Andrews now to the outside of the 62 of Caden Scott. Three wide, good move by Corbin Robinson to move up. He's up to the 6th spot. Worrell still in the outside lane trying to get around Jacob Keller. Halfway home and caution on the speedway. At the halfway point. Field getting ready to go green. Evan Worrell, Jacob Keller. Green flag in the air right at the halfway point, 7 and 8 to go. Evan Worrell starting to pull away from Jacob Keller. The 62 of Caden Scott trying to hold off the 68 of Corbin Robinson. Corbin Robinson on the outside lane, the youngster looking to take over the 2nd spot, your new track record holder. Not quite there on the bottom lane. So Robinson stays up high. Keller still there on the bottom. Evan Worrell continues to lead. 3 laps to go. Worrell and Robinson, green flag in the air. Worrell trying to hang on, hold off the top qualifier. Corbin Robinson in that outside lane. Down the back straightaway. Into turn 3. 2 laps to go. This time, can Robinson get around Evan Worrell? He leads at the line. White flag for Corbin Robinson. The 07 of Worrell in 2nd. Problems for Caden Scott. He goes up the racetrack, gets split 3 wide, and off of turn number 4, your first career feature win, Corbin Robinson. Evan Worrell 2nd, AJ Andrews, Caden Scott, and Nolan Caldwell. On the outside, getting ready to go, green flag racing, DeVore and Swartz. Green is in the air. Bear Swartz up the racetrack. Problems with the 77 of Bear Swartz. And the 169 of DeVore going to have the race lead. Jonathan Ritter trying to get to the inside of the 169 of Bobby DeVore as the 67 of Bob Page working to the outside. DeVore, Page, front two. Bobby DeVore and Bob Page still side by side for the race lead. Bob Page to the race lead. DeVore back to second. Ritter third. George Riddle in fourth. Bob Snyder Jr. on the outside. He's fifth. Bear Swartz back to sixth. Then AP Wren, Dennis Wood, Chris Grubbs, John Sanquest, Corey Herron, and Jerry DeVore. Ritter and DeVore, contact between the 48 and 69. Of Bobby DeVore the second. Jonathan Ritter will tag the tail of the field, and Bobby DeVore will go back to the outside of Bob Page in the 67. Riddle, he's looking to take home that Gillen Body Shop bonus. He was your fastest qualifier. The 17 of Bob Snyder Jr., the 77 of Bear Swartz, 57 of AP Wren, your front six. 9 laps complete, green flag in the air. Caution on the speedway in turn number 2. The 169 of Bobby DeVore the second. Green flag in the air. Bobby DeVore slips back in that outside lane. Bob Snyder Jr. going to fire up to the inside, try and take over the third spot. Bob Page, your race leader. George Riddle, Bob Snyder Jr., your top three. Bob Page looking for that first late model win here. George Riddle looking for another win this season and the Gillen Body Shop bonus. Riddle with some smoke from the right front, but he's going to get to the inside of Bob Page. George Riddle with a rubbing right front tire. Your race leader, the 67 of Bob Page. Halfway home, 15 in, 15 to go. Bob Page sitting right there in that second spot. George Riddle with a lot of smoke out of that right front tire. Will it hang on? Will Riddle be able to pick up another feature win here at Midvale Speedway? Or will Bob Page get his first? Bob Snyder Jr. looking for another feature win. He's a three-time champion here. AP Wren with a good run in the fourth spot. Dennis Wood fifth. John Sanquest Sr. sixth. Jonathan Ritter seventh. Chris Grubbs in eighth. Bobby DeVore the second, ninth. And Bear Swartz 10th. So Bob Snyder Jr. spins on the back straightaway. He will tag the tail end of the field. "17 laps complete. George Riddle, your race leader with a smoking right front tire. The 67 of Bob Page runs in second. Then the 57 of AP Wren, a good run in the third spot. Dennis Wood, a nice run in that 88 up to fourth. John Sanquest Sr. and then the 48 of Jonathan Ritter all the way back up from the back of the pack to the sixth spot. Chris Grubbs in the 25. The 169 is Bobby DeVore the second. 17 laps complete, getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Riddle and Page, green flag is in the air. Caution on the speedway. John Sanquest Sr. spins on the front straightaway. So field to get the one to go signal this time around. Again, 17 laps complete. Jonathan Smith doing a nice job on the flag stand tonight, filling in for Terry Coletti. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing on Gillen Body Shop. Hall of Fame and Old Timers Night, week number 12 at Midvale Speedway. Looking for that $200 bonus is George Riddle. Green flag in the air. George Riddle will again have the race lead. Bob Page going to drop back into that second spot. AP ran up to the third spot. Jonathan Ritter trying to get to the inside of Dennis Wood for the fourth spot. George Riddle, your race leader. And the 4 of Corey Herron. Getting ready to go back to greens. 11 laps to go. 11 laps complete. Green flag back in the air. 11 laps to go. Oh, Bob Page almost into the fence off of turn number 2. Gathered it back up. Bear Swartz spins into the infield. And caution on the speedway. Nineteen laps complete, 11 to go. George Riddle, Bob Page, green flag, back in the air. Riddle on the bottom, Page up the racetrack. Here comes Jonathan Ritter. Ritter up to second. Snyder almost spun in turn 3, and Ritter going to move up to second. Is George Riddle your race leader? Your top 2 qualifiers now run 1-2. Five laps to go for George Riddle. 5 to go for Riddle. Jonathan Ritter runs second. Bob Page third. John Sanquest in fourth. Chris Grubbs in fifth. Bob Snyder Jr. sixth. Dennis Wood seventh. AP Wren eighth. Bear Swartz ninth. Bobby DeVore the second in 10th. 11th is the 69 of Jerry DeVore. And the 4 of Corey Herron. White flag for George Riddle. Jonathan Ritter is there. Will Riddle make any mistakes on the final lap into turn number 3? Ritter going to try and get in there, not going to make it work. George Riddle will win again. Jonathan Ritter finishes second, Bob Page third, John Sanquest fourth, and Chris Grubbs in fifth. John Rufner Jr. Green flag in the air, and we're underway. 3 wide, thought better of it. The Sizzler drops back down. He's in the 3rd spot. Now going to have the 0 of Alan Clark back to his outside. Don Rufner Jr. going to lead lap number 1. So Don Rufner Jr., your race leader. The Sizzler, Blaze Bacon, trying to get around that 0 of Alan Clark. Now he's getting swallowed up by the 36 of Ennis. Wes Ennis pulling double duty, driving for Rich Dunlap tonight. He's on the outside, moving up to the 4th spot. Problems for Jamie Leslie in the 64 as he pulls up high. Phil Bunton Jr. right there on the rear bumper of the 36 of Wes Ennis. Tough break for Jamie Leslie. He'll pull pit side. Don Rufner Jr. with a nice lead in the 47. Zach Marshall hanging on to second in the 23. But he's quickly being caught by the 36 of Wes Ennis, the 79 of Phil Bunton Jr. And here comes the 07 of DR3 in the outside lane, along with your fastest qualifier, Curtis Finlayson. Closing in on the halfway mark of this 15-lap feature, 7 laps complete. Halfway home. 8 in, 7 to go for Don Rufner Jr. But here comes the 36, Wes Ennis, behind the wheel for Dunwoody. He's towing the 79 of Phil Bunton Jr., the 007 of DR3, and the 53 of Curtis Finlayson with him. '79 of Phil Bunton Jr. got into the 36 of Wes Ennis, and now caution on the speedway as the 52 of Salinger gets into the front of the wall, or gets into the wall with the front end on the back straightaway. Flag for rough driving after getting into the 52. He first got into the 36 of Ennis and then turned left and got into the 52 of Salinger and turned him head on to into the back straightaway wall. Tough break for Jeremy Salinger as Phil Bunton Jr. sent pit side by race control. So 9 laps complete, 6 to go. 9 in, 6 to go. Don Rufner Jr., Wes Ennis, DR3, Curtis Finlayson are your front 4. Curtis Finlayson looking for that $200 Gillen Body Shop bonus. 2 Rufners up there trying to hang on against Wes Ennis, former track champion in the 09 back in the day. Curtis Finlayson in the 53. So Don Rufner Jr. hasn't won in a little while. Wes Ennis hasn't won in a compact in quite some time because he hasn't been in a compact. DR3 looking for another win this season, and Curtis Finlayson looking for his first career fast feature win. Green flag in the air, 6 to go. Don Rufner Jr. just couldn't get going, and that's going to allow the 36 of Wes Ennis and the 53 of Curtis Finlayson to the front. Wes Ennis, your race leader. Finlayson all over the back. Wes Ennis in the 36, the 53 of Curtis Finlayson. Two laps to go for Wes Ennis, Curtis Finlayson, and DR3. White flag, get your cameras ready. Finlayson by a nose at the line. Final time down the back straightaway. Wes Ennis, Curtis Finlayson into turn number 3. Off turn number 4, Curtis in the high lane, Wes Ennis on the bottom, and checkered flag. Curtis Finlayson, your winner. Wes Ennis finishes second. DR3, Don Rufner Jr. and Alan Clark, your top 5. Chief starter Jonathan Smith, green flag in hand. Pork Chop has the green flag. And we're underway for 20 laps of street stock racing. Brandon Thomas bringing Bryant Smith with him. Chase Berkey stuck in that outside lane. Still battling out there. Pork Chop will lead lap number 1. Berkey going to battle back in that outside lane. Brandon Thomas still your race leader. Brandon Thomas trying to pull and clear the 54 of Berkey, but Berkey continuing to battle back. Bryant Smith nowhere to go in the 1. Look at the replay to see what happened with Gabe Pringle in the 7 as the number 3 of Bob Page sent pit side for still leaking fuel out of that number 3 machine. So after taking a look at the replay, the 7 of Gabe Pringle spun by the 64 of Ian Porco. So the field going to get lined back up. Gabe Pringle will get his spot back in the number 7. 6 laps complete. So we'll see if the 3 of Page got his deal fixed. 6 laps complete, Pork Chop. And the 1 of Bryant Smith, green flag back in the air. Bryant Smith, your race leader. Brandon Thomas trying to hang on to the second spot. Bryant Smith stretching out his lead over Brandon Thomas. The 54 of Chase Berkey trying to get around. Nobody wanting to tiptoe on that outside except for the 67 of Rector as he's to the outside of Kylie Wood. Wood now trying to get to the bottom of Chase Berkey. She does. Berkey up the racetrack. Here comes the 58 of Koger. 3 wide back in the pack. Pringle thought better of that move. Meanwhile, Bryant Smith pulling away. And now Kylie Wood to the outside of Brandon Thomas. And a little bit of contact right there and spinning. Caution in turn number 1. Off turn number 4. Bryant Smith, Kylie Wood, green flag in the air. Bryant Smith, Dennis Wood, Kylie Wood, and the 55 of Kyler Bertram, your front 5, or front 4. Running 5th, the 44 of Brandon Donnelly, 6th, Gabe Pringle in the 7. Then the 54 of Berkey, the 74 of Passwaters. 5 laps to go for Bryant Smith. Can he hold off Dennis Wood? White flag for Bryant Smith, trying to hang on. Dennis Wood looking to the outside lane. Bryant Smith into turn number 3. Wood on the outside, final lap. Bryant Smith, Dennis Wood at the line. Bryant Smith, your winner. Dennis Wood finishes 2nd. Kylie Wood 3rd. Kyler Bertram 4th. And Gabe Pringle in 5th. So it's been a while since Bryant Smith has been to victory lane at Midvale Speedway. And he reached the 79 is Eric Brokaw. 12 lap feature is green. Timmy Long still your race leader. The 23 of Brenton Irwin trying to find a way around Marcus Cox on the outside of the 85 of Jonathan Weber. The 69 of Drew Romig in that 5th spot. Brenton Irwin trying to find a way around the 46 of Timmy Long. And Timmy Long gets turned. Jonathan Weber involved.